Hi guys, Mr. Pulley here with a quick look at how I set up my courses within Schoology in my attempt to make them a little more visually appealing for my students and organize things so that they're consistent and easy for them to find. So I'll make some other videos to show you how I do some of those things you're going to see in this, but this first video is on how I organize my courses in Schoology. So this is the landing page for my History of Western Civilization course. You can see I've done some things to make it visually appealing, and I'll just mention those, but get into details of how to do that in subsequent videos. But I've got a banner up here to make it a little more visually appealing, make this really long profile picture, which is you can make your profile picture as long as you want it. That's a quick tip on that one. But I've also done by putting pictures into each folder, it makes them a little more visually appealing. But as you can see also, not only can I just click there to get that, if I click on the image itself, that gets me to the folder as well. So I have some students, we have touchscreen devices, but I have some students that have some physical fine motor skill issues. That makes that a little easier for them to get into things. Showing you what's inside these, you're going to see that every unit is sort of organized the same way. I've got a little extra bonus here for my students called this "What's This?" A curiosity kind of thing. But within here, you can see there is a home page for each unit. There is the assignment folder for each unit. There is materials for each unit, and then the videos for each unit. You can see that from section 3, or unit 3 rather, to unit 4. We finished unit 1 already. Unit 2 has a couple of students to do some makeup testing, so I haven't buried it to the bottom yet. Then I go down and I have everything in here in terms of the text, the syllabus folder. These are all supplemental folders. MLA resources for them, crash course world history years 1 and 2, and then you can see from that point on it's going to go into the units. What you might see is that these say 16, 17 because these are last year's ones that have not been updated yet. The newer ones that I have updated, you will notice those go to saying 2017, 2018, which lets me know they've been updated. So let me show this from a student view. I've got my student view. It looks the same. However, what I want to show you over here is this idea that right in this side, I've put in some calendar events. I have my students complete assignments and watch videos. They have to complete them in a certain order or in order. And so to do that, as a reminder, I put a calendar event over here that links them back to that folder to show them. Of course, they click on any of the assignments, takes them right to the assignment. If they click on this link here, we just right-click and show you. It's going to take them to that. Once they're there, there's that item on the calendar, and then clicking there takes them to the folder so they can see those items. You can see they have to be completed in order. And I've gotten through, in this case, as a stub, through the first lecture video, and that opens up the third set of questions, but I can't get the other items until I do this one first, and it opens up the next one each time. What I also want to show you is, so that's something you do with completion rules on a folder. The other thing I do is on all my units, I've got a unit home page, a landing page, and this is something I've done from the past, and this makes the page look a little more visually appealing. And what I've done is all these images are clickable, and they've got a tooltip on them. So this tells them, this takes them to that unit resource folder. This one obviously takes them to the textbook folder. This one obviously takes them to the Mission Impossible-esque assignments that they have to do. This, of course, takes them to the study guide assignment. In the past, I was linking them to the actual study guide, but the Google Drive assignment app, they've already have access to that. So now I link them directly to the assignment for the study guide. Then this, of course, takes them to the unit videos. And I'll just right-click on one. He's going to show you again what happens here. That takes them, again, there's the lecture videos. I have 3 for this one, and the crash course videos that we'll be using for this, also 3 in this case. So those things are, linked to different items. So you can click on that. Again, easier for students with fine motor skill issues. I've embedded a Google Doc that is the unit plans for this unit. I've embedded this in 2 different ways, and I'll explain the 2 different ways and why this calendar is done that way. This one, if you look, I've also got, you notice that this is embedded, so as such, I've put links into that Google document, and as a result, you can actually access that those assignments from in the document. This one, if I click on these, if I right-click and open a new tab, it's going to open it directly to that assignment. Okay. If, however, I go on this and click directly on it, it will open this because I've got this embedded inline on the page. It will actually open that assignment inline within this page, and when I'm done, if I refresh the page, it will click and go back. I'll show you that one in just a moment. Going down here, I've got my MLA resources again, a couple cartoons for my students. And this is just a embedded like from the Google Drive app, the Resources app rather, the Google Drive Resources app. And when I click on these, in terms of things, for some reason it always pops me back up here lately. But when I click on this, again, if I click on one of the assignments, in this case it always opens in a new tab. And then again, it takes me to that same question, this being one of the types in the new assessment program. So it has that new look for that. Okay, so that's the basics. But the thing about the pages, because I had this page set to display in line, is the other assets within that unit folder are still there. There's still the assignment folder that's there. I've got the reading assignments. I want them to be able to start the study guide rather as soon as they start the unit. So that it's not inside that folder, which this is the folder that has the completion rules that say they have to be completed in a certain order. As you can see that these are not active because they haven't been, the items above it haven't been completed. Again, I have the same thing here with my materials and same here with my videos. I have this consistent throughout every unit. So if I actually go back here and actually went down to unit 1, which is now down at the bottom, and did the same thing here, you would see the same thing happens. Consistency, the page is almost always pretty much the same. I've got that same Google Doc embedded this way, and I've also got Google Docs embedded the other way as well. So running back here quickly for you to show you how that works again, I'm clicking on this, and if I open this assignment from this point, what's going to see happening is something I think is kind of cool is that it's actually now embedded within the page. And so if I were to finish, and let me just actually run through this quickly to kind of show you. I would pick the assignment with the most questions. Okay, I want to say I'm going to finish. I'm going to say okay because I can always delete it later. I'm going to say it's done. If I then at that point go refresh the page, I'm right back to the thing, and I complete that without ever having to leave that page. And I can say, oh, let me go on now to the next assignment. And it will do the same thing. Some students like that, some like it in the other, but because they tend to have the questions open in one tab and the chapter open in another, or they'll open the chapter in one window and the question in another window and stack them side by side. But that really is just a brief, quick overview, I guess, maybe not too brief, of how I organize all my things in my History and Western Civ class. And I think organization of materials and consistency is important. And as you kind of saw in there also, I give my kids numerous ways to be able to get at those assignments, because they can get at them by clicking down into the folders. They can get it from that home page. They can also get it from going into the calendar and clicking on items within there as well. So multiple ways of getting to things, multiple ways of completing them, and that's my organization pattern. Thanks.